Yo, 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 and welcome back to the Banter Boys podcast. My name is Sanji. With me is Ross. How you doing, boy?
Welcome. I was thinking I'm gonna do guess who's back? Back again. Ross is back. Tell your friends. What's up, man? I'm good, man. Pretty tired. It is 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock here, and it is absolutely dark outside. I can't see anything outside apart from street lamps.
Well, it's midnight here, and I can't see anything either. How's your hand, by the way?
My hand's okay, man. Okay, this is what I've been telling everyone. My fracture is literally in the top part of my bone, and they have a split that goes literally to half of my hand. It's so annoying. Even now when I'm using the mouse, I have to you know how I have to drag it one way too much? I have to literally pick up the mouse and go back to the position because my hand takes up half the space that it usually does, or more than half the space that it usually does. So it's pretty frustrated with the splint, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it hurts anymore. I hope I'm gonna hopefully get it out by this Friday. Yeah, this Friday.
Yeah, that seems really excessive for a little tiny portion of your thumb, bro.
Yeah, I was pretty mad.
I mean,
Oh, not mad. I wasn't mad at the doctors. Okay, you obviously know more than me, but I don't know. It feels a bit more excessive, but
I would hope they know more than you. I mean, you could always tell people you fought a shark. You know, that's a cool story.
Yeah. He punched the nose, and it punched me back. Apparently, if you punch a shark on its nose, it flinches.
Oh yeah, or you poke it in its eye, and that's how it lets go of you, right? I mean, in case any of our listeners swim with sharks, good advice.
Yeah. The Aussies, they probably swim with sharks.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, bruh, my flatmate has COVID. I'm kind of scared.
Oh, shit, man. That's kind of, yeah, that's literally right next door, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to stay in their room, but would they listen? I don't know. Can I trust that they're going to listen?
Hopefully they do. Do they listen to this podcast? Do they know you do a podcast?
No, neither. Definitely not. I'm not going to lie. I low-key kind of hate my roommate, but that's neither here nor there.
Have you gotten yourself tested?
Yeah, I'm testing myself every 2 or 3 days, or even every 2 days, because every now and then I'll go out, socialize, that sort of thing, and just to be safe. I'm getting my next shot in a week, so
nice.
I mean, just to try and be sensible, try and be safe,
Yeah, I'm also getting my next shot in 3-4 days. I'm getting my third shot on Thursday.
Oh, your booster, is that what it's called or whatever?
Yeah, my booster shot. My booster shot. Yeah.
This is my second official shot, so yeah, I'm gonna try and be careful. But guys, if I'm not around, soon Ryan and Ross will take over, and I trust them. Ryan has a good mic now, so we're in good hands.
We're good hands. Hear sexy voice.
Yeah. By the way, I think now is a good time to remind listeners how they can share our podcast and engage with us and plug all them socials, bro.
Yeah, I haven't done this in a bit, so let me see. Okay, so you can catch us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is @BanterB. On Discord, on the Draft PL channel, BanterBoys #6585. On Reddit, our username is u/Banter_boys. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, and much, much more. All under the name of Banter Boys.
Yo, the schedule is real fucked for the upcoming game weeks, bro.
I know, man. You sent me that message and I was like, bro, I feel bad for all these athletes. Is that what, 8 games in a month or something?
Something weird. Well, I mean, I have it starred in our group. So it's game week 16 is from the 10th to the 12th. Game week 17 is from the 14th to the 16th. Game week 18 is from the 18th to the 19th. Game week 19 is from the 26th to the 27th. Game week 20 is from the 28th to the 30th. and then game week 21 is from the 1st to the 10th, and then we have like a 2-week break or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have to adjust our podding. Just fair warning to the listeners and stuff. I think that's why when we tweeted, we were like, "All right, we're gonna cover like the next 2 game weeks, and I'm gonna come back in, record with Ryan, and then we'll probably rinse and repeat for that next jam-packed 3 game week segment again." Right? Yeah.
And there's like cup games in the middle too, right? So like it's not even like players have like when there's a week break. It's not like players have a break in the middle. They have a midweek cup game. If their teams are still in it.
Oh, yeah, bro. Did I tell you I'm going to EFL quarterfinal game, Brentford versus Chelsea? I got tickets, fam.
Nice. That sounds like that's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah. So what happens is one of the guys in my draft leagues, I think it's the IGL league, his name is Ollie. I think Ollie listens to the podcast. Ollie, you're a wonderful gentleman, bro. But he reached out to me. He was like, bruh, I got some tickets. You interested? I was like, hell yeah. So I bought 2 tickets. I'm taking my brother-in-law. And the only thing I was warned was like, just try not to celebrate when Chelsea score. I was like, don't worry. I've been warned when I go to other games as well. I know the policy and the protocols and stuff.
You're low-key like, yes. Yeah. Did you get a chance to go? I'm sure your brother-in-law was at the West Ham Chelsea game.
No, actually his dad was there, but he went to the West Ham Brighton game though, the 1-1 draw. But I mean, I did message my my brother-in-law's dad, sad face, and he just sent me a bunch of iron emojis and partying emojis. Man, Christmas by them is gonna be so shit. Like now they're gonna be able to chat shit against me. Like.
I mean, if I you obviously hope Chelsea don't lose that 3rd spot, and like they won't. But like West Ham are a weird team, man. Like they took points from Liverpool, they took points from City too. They drew against City, right? And they beat Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, they beat us. I mean, it was a fantastic finish by Mendy. If you saw it, like.
Yeah, I mean. Like, Masuaku went on the record saying that he was surprised too, but like me and Zubain were like chatting shit with Daniel. We were like, bro, it was such a great goal. He totally meant it. And Daniel was just getting triggered and then we just started piling on being like, bro, it was definitely meant to be, but like, no, bro, it was a cross. Everyone's saying it's a fluke. I'm like, bro, like, it seemed like he meant it. And I'm like,
I'm sorry, but if as a Chelsea fan, you're getting triggered by that, like, no, shame on you. Because I've been going around telling people, yo, Mendy finished that goal with authority, bro. That was a fantastic finish. Like, come on. Bro, better than Alisson's finish. What you talking about, fam?
Yeah, that's true. These people know how to make goalkeepers look like fools, and this team is
honestly, he just had a really bad game, man. Even like when Jorginho sold him short with that back pass, and then he tried to dribble past Bowen, I'm like, fam, what you doing? Like, sliding in the box. Like... Yeah.
He can stop the ball when needed, though. So
yeah. I mean, or you can just kick it out for a corner, kick it out for a throw-in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But by the way, before we get started with all our usual jazz, how was your Champions League game? I saw Divock scored again, bruh.
Yeah, man. I didn't watch it. I was at work. But we are now the only English team to win all 6 games of our group stage.
Don't
lose European competition.
Don't lose the knockout now.
Yeah, I hope not. We'll see who it is. I honestly, it's probably gonna be like PSG or some shit.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
But man, I was like so looking forward to Salah and Mane possibly leaving for AFCON, and then you were like, bruh, they might cancel the tournament. I'm like, what?
Apparently, because of the new variant. Even then, like, so the debate right now is happening that because of that 2-week break, they might only miss 2 games. So they might keep them for Leicester and Chelsea, and they're only going to miss 2 games, which is good news for us. But these are still negotiations that are still happening. But apparently because of the COVID scare with the new variant and apparently there's a civil war in Cameroon that's happening.
The fuck?
I was just reading up on this.
That's crazy, fam.
Yeah, so there's lack of security or like civil war rumblings. I don't know what the exact situation is. I don't want to step or like make assumptions based off my limited knowledge. But apparently there might be a lack of security available for these games, and apparently because of that, AFCON might not happen. But let's see. Yeah.
Damn, bro. I was about to plug us for like international news. Like, why the fuck you want to watch CNN or BBC? Like, the hell? Banter Boys is where at, fam. But anyway.
I'll find the tweet and share it. Yeah, I should find the tweet and share it.
But yeah, anyways, so if this is your first time listening to the Banter Boys podcast, welcome. We talk everything fan tracks and sometimes OFPL draft. Typically, how we do these things is we have a first half where we have a data dump. We catch up in our leagues, just highlights and stuff. We'll take a halftime pint. And in the second half, we jump into Twitter questions and then suggest some FA/waiver picks. And we're going to do that segment a little different because we're combining game week 16 and game week 17 together. But yeah, Russ, I think it's time to get started. Shall we?
Yep.
Ay, 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 ay. Fantasy with the Banter Boys.
All right, so the game week 15 data dump. We're going to look at key passes first. The highest number was 4 key passes, and that was by TAA, Antonio, Richarlison, Rafinha, Foden, Cucho, Mount, Odegaard, Heung-min Son, and Bernardo Silva. And then the next tier of key passes is 3, another long list, by Daka from Leicester, Gundogan, McGinn, Nketiah, Rashford, Lucas Moura, Mo Salah, Jonjo Shelvey, aka Lord Voldemort, Lianco, I think I'm pronouncing that right, that Brazilian centre-back from Southampton, Raheem Sterling, Williams, and Willock. Is that Brandon Williams? Huh. I think that's the only
Yeah,
Williams.
I think so. I think it's Brandon
Yo,
Williams.
he's been putting up some decent points these days, though. Just,
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about these numbers, man?
I really, because I'm a Raheem Sterling owner, it's really good to see him like back on form or like back starting regularly, putting up good number of points. Even apart from the goal, he had or the assist actually, not the goal. Like he had 18 points or something.
When did
Like
Sterling
he had 25, 26 points.
Yeah, when did Sterling turn into a Ghosties machine, bro?
I don't know, but the past couple of games have been pretty good for him. I guess it's just a matter of starting regularly. So, yeah, as a Sterling owner, I'm super happy. I hope he doesn't get shipped out in January. I hope those rumors are just rumors and there's no thing to them. But
what do you mean, bro? Magpie legend. Come on. It's written in the stars.
But 2 Newcastle players, Shelvey and Willock.
Yeah.
With 6 key passes.
Away the lads. Away the lads. You know how they have on their Twitter picture or whatever. I was really surprised to see Lianco over there on that list. For a centre back.
He's a CB, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and also it wasn't like there was any standout person with 5 or 6 key passes. Everyone pretty much was in lowish numbers sort of thing, and long lists, right? So I don't know if that's weird. Also, Odegaard, past 3 games, he has been smashing it as well in terms of key passes and attacking contributions.
Yeah, I still hold Saka over higher than the rest of the midfield combo, just because he's got a better eye for goal. Right? Yeah. He almost won me the game week this past game week, but it wasn't meant to be. I'll explain that when we start talking about our leagues.
All right. So let's look at shots then and how many of them were on target. So the highest number attempted was 6 shots. Almiron had 1 on target and Sterling had 3 on target. Then the next number is 5 shots attempted. Ronaldo had 1 of them on target. Grealish had 3 of 5 on target. Kane had 2 of 5 on target. And Tyler Roberts from Leeds had 3 of his 5 shots on target. Then the final number of shots attempted we're going to look at is 4. Long list here. Thiago from Liverpool had 1 of them on target. Bowen had 1 on target. Broja had 3 of 4 on target. Kanyos from Brentford had 2 of his 4 shots on target. Laporte had 2 shots on target. Maddison, 2 on target. Mope, 2 on target. Mbuemo, 0 of his 4 on target. And Jota had 1 of his 4 shots on target. By the way, did the shot hitting the Wolves defenders, I'm sure you saw it. Yeah. I have no idea how he didn't finish that. Does that count as a shot on target? I'm not sure. Does it?
I was wondering the same thing. I'm trying to remember throughout the match, did he have another shot on target? But It should,
I don't know.
because
Because it doesn't count as a blocked shot in that sense. Because it was like a defender. It wasn't like a goalkeeper save.
but he was the last defender though. I think that's why it should count as a shot on
There were
target.
two of them. I don't know which one it hit. I need to watch the highlights and shit still. But
Yeah, I hit Cody and then Cody went off. Well, Cody Cody just I think hit Cody in the nuts or something.
of course it hit Cody, Liverpool legend, you know.
But yeah, man, how he didn't finish that?
Yeah, bro. I honestly, like, that made the rounds on Twitter. Like, I saw that in so many conversations. But yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think of these numbers, though, man? Like, anything stand out to you?
Miggy, that's a surprising inclusion. Like, was it the 6 key passes all feeding into Miggy? I don't know.
Like, the thing is, I think Fraser had like a light hamstring niggle, and Matt Ritchie didn't start, so he got like his chance, and he kind of took it, right? And they
Did
played.
Newcastle finally get their first win?
Yeah, that was their first win. They played Burnley
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. They were the last team in the top 5 English divisions without a win until this game week.
Yeah, and I think then next they kind of play some tough ass teams as well, right? Isn't like Leicester and Liverpool or some shit?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
It's a good time to get your win, right? Get it early. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Roberts, I know he took shots this game week and then previous game weeks as well, but now Bamford is back, bro, and Bamford came off the bench and scored, fam.
Yeah. Leeds finally also getting a win too. Like, they've been kind of struggling for a bit as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, they won last game week too with like the 90 plus 5-minute penalty or something.
Oh, yeah. That greasy pen, yeah. But I heard like they weren't doing shit. That's what Ryan was telling me, at least. I mean, Maddison is still up there with some form as well, taking shots and whatnot. But again, I'm still worried about his key passes with Tielemans coming back. Your boy Thiago though popping up. I'm still sorry about that, fam. That we made you drop him. Like,
Yeah, man.
Man, secretly putting up
Honestly,
points.
might have been the difference. Because I was going up against Zuben, who picked up Thiago after I dropped him. But I don't know. Thiago put up like okay-ish points. Like 7, 8-ish, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think anything exciting.
Okay. Well, I mean, your league
But-
does play with a few extra categories as well, right? All right. Now let's look at accurate crosses into the box. Highest number completed was by T-Bebe, obviously. He had 4 of them. Then Rafinha had 3 accurate crosses into the box. And then the final tier is 2 accurate crosses into the box by Diogo Dalot, Gallagher, Cucho, and Mount. Thoughts, Ross?
Do you think Dalot's going to get benched when Wan-Bissaka comes back?
What's up with Wan-Bissaka? Why is he missing?
His hand was injured, and now it's not. He was on the bench. So, I don't know. I'll talk about it a bit later, because I got him in one of my leagues. Like, I traded away a player to get Wan-Bissaka. So, but, like, I don't know. Dalot put up, like, good points. Even with the clean sheet, he had 17 points total. So,
Yeah, bro. Like, honestly, he's putting up much better numbers than Wan-Bissaka was. So, like, why change it?
why change it, right?
Yeah.
But they're still not scoring, though, so.
Yeah, true. I mean, they're not conceding, which is probably a big, massive plus for Maguire owners. Ugh. All right, now we just look at some random extra categories as well. Just, things that kind of jump out to us. So, Cash had the highest number of tackles won and was second highest for interceptions. He had 6 tackles won, 5 interceptions. That's a lot of points right there.
That's 11 points right there, yeah.
Fam. I think he got like 17 or something in the end. Mo Salah, most dispossessions this game week with 10 of them. I heard Ryan Aït-Nouri did quite a job on him.
Yeah, but, got the assist when it mattered. That touch was pretty sublime to set up Origi. So.
Yeah. Pontus Jansson had the most clearances this game week with 14 of them. Tarkowski had the most block shots, 6 of them. Lascelles, 11 aerials, highest for this game week that went by. Highest number of fouls conceded, Lookman, he had 6 of them. And highest number of fouls suffered, Ayew and Saka, 5 each. Any comments, thoughts about the remaining numbers?
Like the Lookman numbers, like fouls conceded is you fouling, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's going
Yeah,
around like
yeah,
he
that's-
kicked like 6 people basically.
Did he get a yellow card?
I'm not sure. I didn't check that. You know who should have gotten a yellow/red card though? Friggin' Godfrey, fam, when he like stepped on Tomiyasu's
Yeah.
face, bro.
Exactly, man. Oh, yeah. Surprised he didn't. And Everton went on to win, so I'm sure many Arsenal fans are cheesed by that.
Do you find though like a lot of VAR decisions don't go their way though?
Arsenal's way or
Like
just
Arsenal's
like
way. I don't know. I was like talking to an Arsenal fan about this recently, and they just feel like there's a lot of calls like they just don't reverse it for them, sort of thing.
I feel like if you talk to any fan, that's what they'll say. If you talk to me or Acham, we'll exactly say that VAR hates us.
Liverpool?
Or referees hate us. Yeah, Liverpool or, you know, whatever. Or live Unvarpool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
So I think there's just a bigger bias there. So as much as there might be, I would wait for the actual numbers before I would want to kind of jump to that conclusion.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, cool. Now I think is a good time for us to do our league updates. So Ross, we will start with you. How's it going? What's your highlights, trades, waivers?
I lost both my games because I slept into the Chelsea West Ham game, which was 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
I should have done
for
that.
me. I slept my alarm. I set my alarm and everything, but like I woke up at like 7:45, saw that Fornals wasn't starting, Aspie wasn't starting, Chalobah was still injured, ZX was starting instead of Pulisic, but Pulisic was in my team instead. So a bunch of decisions, and like I lost both my game weeks. 9 points by Zuban, which I almost brought it back, like with the Tierney assist and clean sheet and Saka putting up good number of points. And like, you know, I lost by 0.25 against Kyle.
Oof.
0.25.
That's never a fun way to lose a game.
I was up by 0.75, and then Kyle goes like, yo, Acham, can you share me that Fantrax number so I can give them a call? And lo and behold, 2-3 hours, I check, and Kyle wins by 1 point. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
I wonder if Kyle actually did contact somebody, bro. That would be hilarious, though. Like, I don't doubt that Acham did it. Like,
but what I told Kyle was, it's been in my favor enough times that eventually I will be on the brunt end of it. And I was like, I'll accept it. Like I'm at fault for losing. I can't blame. If I put up 77.25 points or 77.75 points, I almost always deserve to lose.
yeah.
It's just that,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, it's if you score at least 100 and then lose by that, that's just like unbearable sort of pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about those trades that you did, man?
So this morning, I messaged like, hey bro, I need defenders. So Ian messaged me like, do you want AWB? And I was like, sure. Who do you want? First Ian asked for, who was it? Gundogan or Saka. And I was like, no bro, I don't want to give those away. And then I was like, if you want to wait till like the Chelsea game, I can give one of like Ziyech or Pulisic if either of them are starting. To which then he responded that if he wants Doucouré, and I was like, sure, I'll give away Doucouré. So I gave Ian Doucouré, and I got Wan-Bissaka for him. And just as a safety measure, I did pick up Delo off the waiver wire, just to kind of make sure that, you know, just in case one doesn't start, I feel like Wan-Bissaka is still the better fullback, and Delo might be temporary. While I was looking for, like, you know, defenders, Acham offered me Robbo for Ronnie, and I'm like, that's like...
Ronnie as in Ronaldo?
Yeah, Ronnie as in Ronaldo.
Man.
And I'm
like Ronaldo's got a really good fixture run coming up, you know.
I know, but Robbo's been playing like a number 1 round pick,
Bruh. Try and take off your Liverpool tinted glasses and think for a second.
I know. Acham is playing with my heart because he knows. He knows someone would do the same for him with him 100%.
Too. 100%, bro. I know, like, yes, Robbo has picked up his form and all that sort of stuff, but is the GOAT, bro, Ronaldo. And there wasn't there a stat that like what was it in terms of like his pressing and stuff? Like he's able to keep up with Ralph's system, bro. So and he's a flat track bully,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, yeah. That is true. That is true. I didn't know about the first one, so maybe I will keep him up. He didn't, without any like goals or anything. He still put up like 6.5, 7 points, which is not the worst, right? And he's on penalty duties because we saw that when Bruno was on the pitch. So yeah, I guess it's just I'm not gonna trade Ronaldo with him, especially unless he offers Mo Salah. Only then will I trade Ronaldo. So yeah. But final things. I picked up Maddie Target in my OG league and Delo in Banter Boys, but I'll probably drop Delo if Wan-Bissaka starts, just so if I have like kind of more freedom to kind of pick up players, and because I don't want too many United players. I already have Varane, I already have Greenwood and Ronaldo, and what's his face now under Wan-Bissaka, so now I don't want Delo just for like keeping an extra spot in my league, so I will definitely drop one of them. But I finally dropped Stones, by the way. When I picked up Delo, I was like, man, I'm done with you. I don't want you in my team anymore.
Bro,
finally listen to your advice.
Yo, drop Varane, man. Why are you holding on to him?
He's in my injury reserve, so he's not doing anything.
Are you sure? Like, I mean, can't you put someone... Oh, I guess, yeah. Isn't there someone more useful that you can put in your injury reserves? Like James Justin or some shit like that?
I don't know. Maybe, like, James Justin is kind of gone, though. But, yeah, maybe if I was quick enough on Eze, but Eze came back and played, like, 60 minutes or something? 30 minutes or something?
He took some corners, I heard.
Yeah, but he only put up, like, 2 points or whatever.
Interesting.
So.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Let's do Banter Boys League updates quickly then. So the Triad League. I don't know why the word is in there. You typed that in the notes, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Because you wrote boo. And I was like,
All right, so we had a loss in this league. We scored 99.75 points. Opponent scored like 127.75. Quick maths, 28-point loss. By the way, rotation's a real bitch, bro. And it sucks that Ivan Toney got COVID because I got him in like both the leagues that we're playing in. So
oh shit.
Yeah. I did like take Ryan's suggestion, and Ryan's like been on point with his like picks and suggestions. Like he was telling people get Fred, and Fred like fucking scored in like the game.
2 assists.
Exactly. And
the game before.
Exactly, right? So he was like, yo, bro, grab Ailing. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll drop Jensen. I got like the assist. By the way, Ailing still got like 14.25 points with the assist, and that's after conceding 2 goals, right? So that's like 8 points after conceding 2 goals, ghosties, which is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Ailing's there, go pick him up in your league, sort of thing. I also had Tierney in my one as well with 20 points. But it didn't help that my opponent had a Tottenham stack of Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, Lucas Moura, and Lloris. All gave him 68 points together. Yeah, and they played Norwich, so that wasn't fun. I was just glad that Harry Kane blanked from a Fantrax perspective. If you play FPL, my condolences. No trades or waivers to talk about. So next league is the International Genie League. We had a win there though of 91.5 to 84.25 points. A couple of highlights there is just Trent delivering as always, man. Trent, like I cannot, like, I wish they were like I could draft like 11 Trents. 11 Trents would win you a draft league, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Yeah.
I had Ben Davies though in this one, who I had wavered in like the previous game week, came through real clutch with 30 points. He had 2 assists or something like that, right? But I'm really struggling with my forward situation, man, because Ivan Toney COVID, Lukaku's not starting, Sarr is injured. My only starter is Jimenez right now. Do you think I could survive with that?
I don't know, man. Jimenez also has some tough fixtures coming up too, right?
Yeah. Wolves in general, just really bad fixtures like Man City, Chelsea, like, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and like they just played Liverpool. Like this past game week, I also have Jimenez, and I was like, I'm gonna bench him against Liverpool for my one league, but I had to play him in my other league, and he only got like a 1.5 points. So yeah, you're kind of struggling there, bro. Like I'm sure those players will come back, especially like Lukaku and stuff. No way Lukaku doesn't start. But yeah, that's pretty shitty,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I gotta figure something out. I don't want to be like starting friggin' Pookie and shit like that, bruh. No. By the way, remember when you like messaged me midweek? You're like, bro, did you drop Tierney? I was like, yeah, this is the league that I ended up dropping him, and then somebody picked him up immediately, fam. Yeah.
If I was there instead of Ryan, I would be like, Sanji, wait one more game. Because deep down, I knew he was going to start. And he even played like 65 minutes and then got subbed off for Tavares. And I don't want to put like, causation is obviously not correlation, but he goes off and Arsenal's concede 2 goals. So, I don't know. Maybe Tierney was that a bit more defensive stability. Because I've seen Nuno Tavares play, and yeah, he's pretty good attackingly, but he is a pretty big liability on defense, man.
Yeah, so one of my boys is a Arsenal fan, Ryan from Jamaica. The way he loves to describe Tavares is like the Tasmanian devil. Man, just go. Okay, what else from this league? The FA, so I made like a couple FA moves because like rotation's a bitch and people are not starting and all that sort of shit. So I actually grabbed Dalot as a free agent in this league, so that also helped nicely with the win. But the person I had dropped Tierney for was Lise Malou, and I ended up chucking him out for waivers earlier today. I brought in Cucho for that game versus Brentford. I figure might as well, I don't know, like
good game,
it's decent, right? I mean, I know Cucho doesn't always start games, but the guy just keeps coming up with these monster performances off the bench as well. So, I mean, in the chance that I have like 10 starters and I need to start a bench person, I feel like I might risk it on a player like Cucho.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing to kind of wrap up the first half is talk about Perfect 11 season 2. So I'm basically going the opposite way to my season 1, and Ryan is doing a lot better than I am. I went from 49th to 68th. I'm just going backwards at this point. And Ryan went from 43rd to 38th. 10th place is basically the benchmark because top 10 go into like this fancy tournament thingy. And 10th place is like on 577 points. I'm on 472 points. So I'm like 100 behind already. And now I feel like at this point, I just need to try and beat Ryan. I think now that will be my goal for the season. Like, I don't know what else to aim for in that. I don't know if I'll make top 10, but I just want to go through a list of like good picks, bad picks. And again, good picks, we look at 10 points and above because that's pretty much what you want from any player in your draft league, right? Good picks, Lloris 11, Trent 20, Grealish 10, Salah 12, Sterling 24.5. Bad picks, Reece 0.5, Reguilon 0.25, Robbo 8, Bruno 4.5, ASM 4.5, and Jota 4.5. Before we wrap up this segment, how bad is Bruno now, man? Like, I know going into the season, obviously you'd be viewing him as a first pick, but even with Ole gone, he's still not kind of picked up.
Yeah, I think it's just the drop in goals in general. Like, loss of set pieces obviously is a big thing as well. But in general, I think I would give United the benefit of the doubt of them having somewhat of a bounce back with the new manager. And with that, I think we would then see like Bruno coming back into like a bit more. Like it's one of those things where like, good players like kind of like are able to kind of like, cement through and like, make sure that they're kind of like set up their position. And even now, like we've seen like Donny come in for Bruno, but I haven't seen United play enough to kind of be like, yeah, Bruno's playing like shit. Maybe his points are just shit, but he's just not getting the support that he usually gets. So yeah, let's see kind of how he does during like the fixture congestion and how well he plays in that.
Yeah. Okay, so now I think is a perfect time for us to take our halftime pint, and we will see you guys after the break.
Sounds good.
And And we are back. Okay, so Ross, we've got some Twitter questions. One from Discord as well. Yeah, we got some fans on Discord. Hit us up, if you want to chat to us. Yeah, and regular Twitter stuff. We even have a new Twitter question person that apparently has been a long time listener fan. But Ross, take it away with the Discord stuff first, and then we'll go to the Twitter.
Yeah, so on Discord, username YaoG8 was said that the Conor Gallagher trade kickstarted his season or their season. And now he's being offered money for Ronaldo. So I'm assuming YaoG8 has Ronaldo and they are getting money.
Yeah.
And Sanji, I can't answer this with any objectivity. I feel like you're gonna have to answer this one.
I mean, depending on whoever is on which side for that trade, like whoever has the Ronaldo person, basically, I think you keep Ronaldo. I know Liverpool has the best attack in the league at the moment, and Mane will probably tick along with points, like even ghosties and stuff like that. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He also has the potential to get single digit scores even when Salah's beasting in a game, right?
Yeah, and this is where I will come in with my bias. So I think one of the biggest concerns for Mane is that he might be going off AFCON, but he's only missing 2 games because of AFCON, which apparently might not even happen, but we don't know. I don't want to make assumptions or anything and kind of jump off of rumors and stuff, but there is a rumor going around that AFCON might not happen due to kind of security concerns and the new variant stuff. But at the same time, my bias is that Mane is initially people are oh man, Mane's putting shit or whatever, but he's really bounced back and he's really kind of come into form after seeing that he could possibly be dropped. I don't think there's any cover for him at the moment, and he is a starting player. I don't know, man. I think Mane for Ronaldo is a good trade. I think Ronaldo is one of those players that does not really get ghost points. And that's my biggest concern, is that he is very, very much goal dependent. And yes, he will score those 2 goals. He will be on penalties. He will get the odd free kick here and there. But at the same time, that's kind of it. Everyone was oh, maybe he'll get a lot of aerial duels, but he's not really kind of getting into that. You don't get points for pressing or running a lot either. So in that sense, Mane does a lot of that dirty work for that Liverpool that gets him those points, those tackles and those interceptions, and then those kind of tee up as key passes and shots on targets. And so for me, that's my bias though. Mane for Ronaldo is a solid trade. And if you are getting Mane, even if with AFCON into considerations, I think it's a good trade.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have backup strikers in case Ronaldo's rested or benched because of the whole Christmas congestion fixtures, I'd still take Ronaldo. Ronaldo is a GOAT. Ronaldo, again, flat track bully. He scores against easy teams. But same thing is Mane plays for the best attack in the team. So I don't know. I feel like it's a win-win either way, sort of thing.
I think so. I think so.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for your question, YaoG8. I will respond to you on Discord, but you'll probably see the response by the time you're listening to this. So let's move on to the next set of questions.
Yeah, so from Twitter, no one is asking us at Shark Verma. Is AWB worth a pickup now that Delo has played well? And same question for Shaw, if we have trade him in. So I'm in this situation where I have both. I was offered AWB and I picked him up. And I picked up Delo just to be safe. But long term, I think once AWB is back in the lineup, he's back in the lineup. And Delo might be a feature here and there. Yeah, he's shown that he can take that spot up for a right back. But apart from they played Arsenal. But apart from that game, I don't think they've had tough fixtures, right? What did they have? Crystal Palace and now Norwich? No, not Norwich. Who'd they play last?
Who's that?
United.
Yeah.
So they played Crystal Palace and Arsenal, right?
Yeah. Well, as in
and
Arsenal then Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Arsenal and Crystal Palace, which I'm like, there aren't the toughest fixtures. So I don't know. I still rate AWB higher than Dallas.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounced his name right.
And the thing is that like I feel like AWB is the best defender that United supposedly have, right? And if I think of anyone that in terms of like pressing and tackling all that stuff, you'd think that Ralph would probably get the best out of AWB. And because I mean AWB used to be like a reliable ghost points getter for United in the past few seasons as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about his whole like maybe in terms of attacking output and whatnot, but I mean he used to be a winger at Crystal Palace, so maybe Ralph will help him unlock some attacking potential as well. But yeah, I mean if you can get that handcuff, I'd say do it just to be safe. And I mean it's the same situation with Shaw Tellers, right? I think the only reason Shaw is out because of that concussion stuff.
Yeah, but like Tellez has been on corners, has been on like set pieces too, right? So there is definitely that upside there, but maybe with the new manager bounce, I think you would have at least give Shaw the benefit of the doubt because of how well he played, and then kind of go from there. It's very similar to kind of, and I hate that I have to bring back to Liverpool, but there was a lot of people that were kind of screaming, be like, start Simicast, he's been playing a lot better, all of these things, until Robbo showed what he's capable of, and then everyone was like super quiet and like, okay, cool, like he's still one of the best left backs in the league and possibly the world. So I feel like Shaw deserves that benefit of doubt. At the end of the day.
You say you hate bringing up Liverpool, but I know you secretly love it, bro.
I hate that everyone has to hear me. I feel like Liverpool is appropriate for any conversation or any discussion.
All right, sweet. Thank you so much for questions, Shirag. Hope that helps. Let's move on to the next one.
Next question we have from Mav at Mav7472562. That sounds like something that's like a bot. I really hope it isn't.
What if that's like his phone number
sorry.
or something like that? I wonder how people come up with these long ass numbers sometimes, man.
Yeah. So Mav tweets, excited to ask my first question. Who do you boys think are decent trade-in targets at the moment? My home league's kind of been lacking when it comes to trades, so definitely want to get some new players in. Appreciate boys. Love the pod. Mav. Thanks so much, Mav. Sanji, I'll let you take this one first.
Okay, so trade-in targets, boy. Bamford? I mean, they have tough fixtures, though. Like, for the next, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 game weeks or something like that. But because he's been out for so long, maybe you can kind of convince the manager, be like, hey man, just give me back. But the thing is, I heard Bamford had like a bit of a setback as well, so maybe that kind of does help your case to bring him in, right? But like he came off the bench and scored sort of situation, so I don't know. Eze, maybe, like Eze's back now, took a couple of corners, right? If you trade in targets right now, like, so people you want to get in, bro. Ben Davies, like, would you try and trade in like a Spurs defender or something like that, right?
Yeah. Or would you try and trade in for like AWB and Shaw in this scenario too, right? Like, their value isn't particularly the highest at this point, so maybe owners are willing to kind of let them go.
Yeah, maybe Christensen or Aspi, like they haven't been getting regular starts recently, but like Chalobah picked up an injury, and like we've got a lot of injuries in general. Like it wouldn't shock me to see Reece James play midfield one game if we keep picking up injuries. Like I know Kovacic came back from his injury, but he got COVID, so
yeah.
Right? What other trade-in targets would you have, boy? Tierney, maybe? I don't know, because he's been out so long, but he came back like a beast for this 20-point game, fam, so...
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Like... Any, like, Aston Villa players, like, if they're owned, like, players like McGinn, if players are able to kind of go for, like, Ollie Watkins and stuff like that, I feel like Gerrard's trying to like develop something here at Aston Villa before he eventually kind of moves on. So I feel like there might be these players are also coming up in value too.
Maybe even like Matty Target. I know he's been out injured for a little bit, and Ashley Young's kind of filling his spot, but I don't think that's a long-term solution right there.
No, I don't think so. And I think he could have been back for this game. It was just like, it's a head injury. You just want to be careful.
Yeah. I'm trying to see maybe Pascal Gross, but the thing is, I don't know if that's gonna be a long-term play because they've got a bunch of injuries right now. Trossard, like something, he dislocated his shoulder or something like that. I know he got stretched off in the last game, right? So maybe just from a creative perspective, Pascal Gross might see an upside in value right now.
What about Adama Traore?
What about him?
Would he be a possible trade-in? He was off for a bit, and now he's back in the starting lineup. So
it's just a matter of time until he's out again, I feel. Yo, okay,
but
man should
he
have
was a
passed
menace,
Jimenez when they were on the counter against Burnley, and he didn't. He tried to take the shot, and he missed, like he always does. So screw that guy. He cost me points.
Assuming that Jimenez scores in this situation.
Yeah. But I mean, oh god, come on. Like Jimenez has been like finishing like a pro recently, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Billy Gilmore. I feel like he got his spot back in the team now. But the problem is that it depends on which position he plays in the team. Like if he's playing CDM, don't start that man. If he's playing as one of the number 8s or like a number 10, start that man.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, I can't really think of anyone else per se.
Callum Wilson.
Yeah, like Callum Wilson. Yeah, I mean, man's ticking along with his goals every now and then. Like with Eddie Howe, like I feel like he's just gonna come back into some form. He hasn't pulled his hamstring yet, so
yeah. And my last one, and just because it's City, I don't know, maybe the rumors for Raheem Sterling are kind of true, and maybe you want to risk on that and be like, hey, what if Raheem Sterling leaves? And you can give up something kind of semi-decent to get Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. Not bad. I mean, the thing is, though, he's been on form and he's putting up ghosties, so I find it hard for somebody to give away Raheem right now. Like, you should have done it, like, maybe 4 or 5 game weeks ago, sort of thing, right? What about Ismail Assar? Like, I know he's out injured and stuff, but obviously, like, when he's fit, he comes back into that starting lineup, right?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all that I can think of at the moment.
Same. If there's any specific trades, Mav, feel free to reach out to us. I mean, you hit us up on the Discord, I think it was. But yeah, anytime anyone has questions, just DM us, yo. We're always happy to help.
Yeah, thanks, Mav. Appreciate the love. Next question we have from DraftHash at DraftHash. Are you excited about Harvey Barnes coming into some form? Did Ryan pick up Fred last week? Why not? Luka Dean dropped. Should we be worried? You boys ready for Christmas? I hope you haven't spent too much on my gift.
Winky face emoji. Harvey Barnes coming back into some form. I would be excited, but I don't trust Brendan Rodgers. That's my thing. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Russ?
I think maybe it was one of those things where like he needed to kick up his butt, and that's why he got dropped. Because Brendan Rodgers does that, right? He'll just drop players and then just bring them back into the team. I know Tielemans is out, but like, I think when Tielemans comes back up and there is a change in formation, I don't see I see maybe Lookman kind of coming to the bench rather than Harvey Barnes.
Also,
but even though both of those are wing players.
Yeah, and also I think Barnes just has a knack of scoring against Villa, especially when he was at West Brom or whatever. I think it's that whole Midlands sort of derby jazz, but
maybe, yeah.
So I mean, don't let that goal just like kind of sway you a little bit, right? But I mean, if he's coming back into form, I mean, who you gonna wanna trade for him, like to get Barnes? Like, okay, would you trade right now? Maybe offer a manager Dalot for Barnes, or like a Spurs defender like Dyer or Sanchez for Barnes.
Yeah, I would.
Would you trade
for Barnes? Yeah, for a midfielder.
Yeah. But the thing is, like midfielder is so rare this season as well. So I mean, yeah, if you're able to stash him somehow, then yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, I'm personally not excited about it. Like, I'm avoiding Leicester in general. Like, I don't know. It's not because they beat us in the FA Cup final, obviously. Come on, I'm not that sour. But, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. Did Ryan pick up Fred? He did not. Yeah, I don't think he did. Ryan never takes his own
No.
advice. He's a banter boy. That's what we do best.
He's a banter boy. Yeah, we don't take our own advice.
Yeah.
We take each other's
Exactly.
advice, and then we blame each other for that. But we don't take our own advice.
Basically. Why didn't he do it? I think because like you've seen Fred at his waist as well. Like I don't think you can like go into that with full confidence unless you're maybe a United fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, Fred might suit Ralph's system perfectly, right? Fred apparently learned how to press properly now all of a sudden. And listen, Fred had his days, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, though I think his ghosties were inflated by when he had like the corners and the free kicks and all that jazz, but I don't know. Like, would you pick up Fred right now if you were like low on midfielders?
Yeah, man, I would. As much as it's Fred, but you're right. Like, you know, he has his days, and maybe it was Ole, right? So
yeah,
I would pick up Fred.
Interesting. All right, Luca Dean, if he's dropped, should we be worried? He wasn't in the squad for the Arsenal game. Man, he is another player who's had a terrible season, and he's a player that would have gone maybe round 3 to round 5 in most 10 to 12 team league drafts, right? Well, what would you do if you owned Luca Dean right now? Hold the faith, hope that it gets better, or maybe offload and accept that maybe it's just not his season?
I don't know, man. I hate making these predictions because you never know with these players, but our Everton fans are apparently very pissed with ownership. I think Rafa might be on his way out. Their defense isn't definitely looking as strong as it should. I don't know if this Arsenal game that they just won changes things, but yeah, maybe like he needs to be dropped to know that he can be dropped. And when he eventually does come back into the lineup, maybe he will show that like he can, like, you know, come back to his best. So I would hold at least during the festive period just because of rotation and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't help that Luca Dean doesn't have the corners and the free kicks and stuff anymore, right? Andros Townsend came in and stole all of that from him, basically. Yeah, so, I mean, I would be a little worried, though, as an owner. I think I'd try and get him out. Like, I think I've accepted that he's just not having a good season because of the whole Andros Townsend effect, like I just said. So yeah, if you can get some sort of trade value out of him, go for it. You know, try your best. And finally, are you ready for Christmas, Ross? I spoke to Ryan on the last pod about like Christmas traditions and all that stuff. I mean, the listeners know my biz. What do you do for Christmas typically?
I don't celebrate Christmas, so not much to do. And this time around, I'm not like taking time off either. Like I have like a day on each side of the weekend, because Christmas is on the 25th and stuff. So I have that during that time. But like we try to kind of go for a trip during that break. But last year was COVID. This year, everyone's gone to Pakistan. So no one's here to kind of go on a trip. I'm going to see if like something comes up last minute. But like years before, you know, go to Montreal or like, you know, just get away from like your usual routine is always really nice. The 2 years prior, I was in Pakistan, so that's always fun. For your gift, Draft Hash, maybe something to kind of like, you know, if that year's your actual mustache, maybe something to kind of like, you know, keep, as a person who grows very good facial hair, I know how important it is to upkeep for it. So maybe something for that mustache. I don't even know where you are from, so Draft Hash. So maybe if you're in London, it's Sanchi's responsibility.
You know, he lives up north, like way up north. Like it's really
Define
cold.
up north.
I want to tell you the town, and he told me the town, but I low-key am not remembering right now, so I don't want to get it wrong.
Like Scandinavian, like Iceland or something?
Okay. Now I'm like legit gonna go into my messages and pull it up. Hold on. Because now I'm low-key feeling bad because Tash is like an awesome listener. Hold on. Okay, so he's from Bucky, Morayshire. I hope I didn't give away his address.
Oh, so within
public.
UK?
No public forum, like people be like, oh, Draft Hash beat me, I want to go search him up. So Bucky, Morayshire, I believe is in Scotland, and it
Oh, in Scotland. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, if I was there, I'd get shot for saying things like these.
Yeah. He did mention that he likes to think of Scotland being its own country and all kind of thing, right? So you
Okay. So
I'm stepping on no toes.
you were from Scotland. Yeah.
But yeah, apparently
Sorry,
it's like a
Drakash.
little fishing village on the northeast coast. But he's been getting snow and all that sort of stuff, like all that blizzard and whatnot. But yeah, I'm sure he must grow facial hair to keep warm, right? That's the reason.
Yeah,
we
I mean,
grow.
why else would your name be Draft Hash?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Not because it looks good.
Exactly. But yeah, Tash, thank you again for your questions. And we move on to the last one. And now this one is FPL related, but I want to pull up some of the stats from Fantrax, right? Just basic ones. But it is from a good friend of mine, Mikhail at Hail Kale. So he, you want to read out what he has? So he's basically a Kane owner in FPL, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, what was the quote about the definition of madness? What do the stats say? And now it's from game week 9 to game week 15. It's showing Kane's points in FPL, and it's 90 minutes for all those games, and then 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Out of those, I think they've won maybe the last 3?
Yeah, because I think Conte would have had the Everton game in charge, right? Because Nuno got fired after that 3-0 loss to United. So they scored, what was it, 7 goals in the Prem, and he got absolutely nothing. But I mean, if you look at like, okay, shots attempted, right? So before, so while Nuno was there, he only attempted like 1 shot per game in like that United and West Ham game. But after that, he had 2 shots versus Everton, 4 shots versus Leeds, 2 shots versus Brentford, 5 shots versus Norwich. But the thing is, I mean, on the eye test, he just seems to be kind of falling back into that number 10 role, man. And you can see, like, he had 3 key passes versus Brentford, 1 key pass versus Everton. I mean, 0 in the rest of the games. But I don't know, man. Like, if you're playing OFPL draft and you had Kane right now, would you trade him? Because, I mean, this would apply to the budget game as well, right? Would you get rid of his ass? Like, I don't know.
I mean, so, like, Kane obviously highlighted it, like, you know, tried showing his, like, his form at the start of the season. But last season he showed, like, oh, like, he's one of the best players in the world, right? You know, but sometimes these external pressures do put, like, so for example, going to the Euros, captaining the Euros, taking your team after all that criticism, and taking your team to the finals, but losing on a penalty shootout, man, that really sucks for you as a player sometimes. I was looking at the stat that had, like, you know, compared him to, like, Divock Origi, and Divock Origi scored 2 goals in the Premier League, and Harry Kane's only scored 1 goal in the Premier League.
I saw that stat.
It's, yeah.
I mean, even Fantrax related, you look at those last 6 games, he only had 1 double-digit score of 11.5. So, I mean, even as a Fantrax asset, would you, because he's like easily a first round pick, right? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you keeping the faith then, even Fantrax?
That's a good question, man. I would. Unless someone goes like, Ross, do you want, like, Trent for Kane? Then I'd be like, yeah, sure. Or
No,
like, Mane for Kane.
Trent. Anyone for Trent. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, no questions asked. Like, yeah.
Mane for Kane. Or, honestly, if someone offered me Robbo for Kane, I might even take it. But I think that would be my extent.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing right now about holding Kane is that you'd expect him to start all of these Christmas games, right? So, especially because of COVID popping up all over the place and just rotation headaches, like, maybe just have the patience and stick with Kane even though he's not doing shit for you. Like, better have a starting player than no player. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but hopefully that helps. I don't know, Mikhail. I'm a Kane owner in FPL, and it's been pain ever since I brought him in. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that's questions for you. Ross, I think now we should run through the waiver picks, and we're gonna do things a little differently, right? Because we're combining game week 16 and game week 17 together. What we decided to do was basically just run through the table, look at the teams, look at their opponents, and then maybe suggest assets based on that as well, right? typically for this segment, what we do is we suggest picks that are under 50% because we believe you have an easier chance to kind of bring them in on your waiver or as an FA. So yeah, Russ, I'll let you, is it me getting started?
No, you
I saw you filling in the table.
Yeah.
You're filling it in, and then you realize, oh wait, Liverpool's second and Chelsea's third.
Yeah.
Smart guy. Okay, so to start us off is Man City. So they've got Wolves at home and then Leeds at home. Again, it's very hard to get a Man City asset at the moment because everyone is pretty much owned. But if you had to maybe gamble on someone, just I would say wait on the lineups. Maybe Zinchenko, 31% owned, because like these two teams have kind of been struggling to score goals, right? Wolves especially, and now Leeds if they lost Bamford to that reoccurrence of an injury. Yeah, just it might be safe clean sheet pick. Though I'd just say look at the backline. If Nathan Ake is starting, just maybe have a second guess about it. You know, like just think about that a little bit. Anyways, Ras, you can talk about the next team.
Even without Nathan Ake, when they had they conceded the goal against Villa, and then they conceded the goal against who'd they play last?
Before
Watford.
that, was it West Ham?
No, so they played.
Had like a screw.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, so they played Villa, and then who'd they play last?
it
Did
was
they play
Watford.
Watford?
Yeah. Cucho scored against them, I think.
Yeah, and Cucho scored, right? So again, even if they had a proper defensive backline, still conceding a goal. So
Yeah, they just have these lapses, man. Like they're not like Liverpool where they just try and kill teams off. They just, I feel like, score a couple goals and we're like, okay, we'll just pass the ball around, like possession.
yeah. So speaking of Liverpool,
Oh, great segue.
they're playing Villa at home and Newcastle at home. I think there might be rotation. Tsimikas is 48% owned. I would try getting him just to have him for the winter break. Just the fixture congestion, you never know. Ox 8% also might rotate with the midfield trio. And Gomez was back fit. He came on for Salah or Mane today. He's 12% owned. And I think he might get some appearance, if not as right back, maybe as center back. He is fourth in the picking at the moment, maybe fifth, or third to fifth, right? So maybe might get a start here and there as well.
What about Nat Phillips, bro? He was such a beast last season.
I don't think so, man. Unless there's a big injury scare again, I don't think Nat Phillips is in the... I think, if anything, Nat Phillips is the fifth center back, which sucks. And I hate it, and I really liked him last season and stuff, and he put up a monster performance today as well. But yeah, I don't think Nat Phillips is going to get maybe cup game time, but not regular game time.
Okay, all right. So next team is Chelsea. Leeds at home, then Everton at home. Again, these teams are kind of struggling to score goals, but I'm not sure you can get a defensive asset. If you can, maybe try and do those trades that we mentioned earlier in the pod. But I'm going to suggest Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 37% owned, because we've got a lot of injuries in our midfield. He might get another start again. I know I was saying to be cautious on him before the game week 15, but he had a really, really good game versus West Ham and had around, I think, 11.5 ghosties. So definitely, I think, worth a pickup if you're unable to field a full 11. All right, next team, Ross.
Yeah, so next team is West Ham. They have Burnley away and Arsenal away. This past game week against Arsenal, we did see kind of rotation. They shifted to a back three, played Lanzini for, I think, Fornells or Benrahma or one of them. I think, keep an eye out for Lanzini if he doesn't start against Burnley. I think he'll be back in the lineup against Arsenal. Other players to kind of note is Craig Dawson with Zuma out and what's his other? Ogbonna still out. I think Craig Dawson is your preferred center back at the moment, so he might start both games. And Masuaku too, because Ben Johnson is out. Cresswell is still injured, so Masuaku kind of comes in, not as a fullback, as a wing back or a winger in general, kind of starts as well. So keep an eye out on those players to see if they're starting.
Yeah, and he's better going forward than playing defensively. So yeah, good shot for sure.
Yeah.
Next team, Spurs. They've got Brighton away and Leicester away. So
Spurs are fifth?
I hope I filled in the table correctly. But
I think they are fifth. Yeah.
but the thing is that did you hear about this whole COVID scare about the game might be called off? Like 6 starters and 2 coach members have COVID, and even Brighton are quite fucked with injuries. So I'm not sure like how to
Ooh.
suggest players for this team right now. But you know what? Sanchez 45% owned, Davies 35% owned. Defensive options like Conte has showed things up at the back. I know they've had a few easy games, so that might skew the stats a little bit. But yeah, I just think it's a good shout. And Regs came off with like a little bit of injury, though he tweeted to all the fantasy managers, "Don't drop him,
Yeah.
hold on to him.
Don't drop him.
I,
I'll be back
I
in a
thought
few
that was
days."
really cool. But Davies does tend to make some attacking overlapping runs, so that's why I suggest him. And if they are gutted with all these first teamers being out with COVID, I wanna again throw as a possible punt Matt Doherty 24% owned. If he gets a shout at a game, like with Emerson out with his knock or whatever, Tanganga might have COVID, who knows? I think Doherty, if he gets a full start, he could reward managers. All right, next team.
Yeah, next team is United. So they're going up against Norwich away and Brentford away. Both teams which are kind of struggling to score, especially against the bigger teams. So the players, there's 2 defenders. So Alex Telles, if he keeps starting, 43% owned. Diogo Dalot, 36% owned if he's still starting. And maybe keep an eye out for this one. But again, I haven't seen United play in a while. So if Bruno is playing like shit, Donny van de Beek might get a game here and there. So 21% owned. So like gotta be like super quick. Like, as soon as the lineups come out, you're like, ready to drop or whatever. So
who's the quickest person you'd say in your league, by the way, for doing picks in like Banter Boys League?
Kyle's pretty quick.
All right. Nice.
Kyle's pretty quick. I mean, his team is shit, but he's pretty quick.
All right, for Arsenal, there wasn't anyone that I could suggest for their next 2 games, Southampton at home and West Ham at home. I think like Tavares would have been a shout, but with now Tierney back in the squad, I think Tierney's like 80-something% owned as well. I mean, you could go for the likes of Partey, and I think Xhaka's like maybe under 5% owned, but I'm really not sure with Xhaka, bro. He's gonna get you like key passes one day and red card next day. So yeah. Next team.
The next game is Wolves. They play Man City away and Brighton away. So I don't know. I would not bank on any of these players for Man City, just because I feel like the only players that would get the points are those who would score the goal. And if they, and again, like you don't know who's going to score, right? So I wouldn't bank for them. But against Brighton, Podence 28% owned, Trincao 47% owned, Kilman and Moutinho 42 and 46% owned respectively. So kind of keep an eye out on lineups. I feel like Podence might get a game and Trincao might get a game. And I know he likes rotating Dendoncker or Neves and Moutinho kind of like regularly, depending on like, rest and injury or like suspension or whatever. So Moutinho might kind of play 1 or 2 of these games. So
yeah, so next team is Brighton. They've got Spurs at home and Wolves at home. Now, Brighton have a lot of injuries. Like, man's like Lallana out, Trossard out. I think Duffy has his like 5th yellow card suspension or something, so he's going to be missing for that game. I think Dunk out with like a knee injury. So yeah, they got bare man's missing, yo. So Veltman 30% owned, Burn 3% owned. Burn is like a ghosties giraffe machine. Like guy's so tall, looks so awkward playing football, but gets all the points, man. And Moder, cheeky one here, 5% owned. He's kind of been ticking along with a little bit of points last few game weeks. I know he came off the bench and got his assist, so that might skew the last game week data points, but I don't know, just keep an eye on him. I feel like with all these injuries, maybe he gets some starts in some 90-minute games. All right, next team.
Next team is Aston Villa. The 2 teams that they're playing is Liverpool and Norwich. For the first game, I am kind of excited for this game because it is Steven Gerrard's return. And I think Steven Gerrard wants to kind of not disassociate from the fact, but like kind of show like, he's not just Liverpool legend. He is like, coming up the ranks as one of the like top managers possibly in the world, or like an up and coming, very like highly rated managers. So I feel like this would be a good game out, but I don't know if I'd still suggest defensive assets against Liverpool, especially at home. But the two that I'm suggesting, because the second game they play is Norwich, Konza 28%, who had the brace this past game week. And if Matty Target's still out, then Ashley Young, who's 11% owned. Yeah, it's Ashley Young, but, against Norwich, maybe he can possibly keep a clean sheet. So, yeah.
I can't believe you had Gerrard and greatest manager in the world in like the same sentence, FYI.
I mean, possibly coming up, possibly becoming.
I mean,
context
I didn't
matters.
even say that about Super Frank Lampard, man. And like you out here, like just watch Stevie G take all them 3 points from you. Watch.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like he wants to be one of the best managers in the world, right? I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying like he's the best manager in the world or whatever. But I think he can be. So
yeah, that's fair. All right, next team is Leicester. They've got Newcastle at home and Spurs at home. So with rotation being an issue and Vardy being an old man, Patson Daka gets a chance at playing football every now and then. 48% owned. He got an attacking return this last game week as well. Just a good rotation option if you have space on your bench. Stash him just for the Christmas congestion fixtures. Luke Thomas, 17% owned. Maybe for the Newcastle game. Not sure about the Spurs game. The thing is, though, like, Leicester's defense real trash, fam. And they keep conceding. But, Thomas is having them ghosties. So he's still kind of ticking along. Not tickling. I don't think he's that, ticklish or whatever. All right, this is getting weird. Next team.
Next team is Everton. They're playing Crystal Palace away and Chelsea away. And to be honest, I'm not going to suggest anyone. There's a bunch of defensive options available, but their defense is real sus. So, next team.
I thought it's because you're a Liverpool fan and Rafa's there. You just sours. No?
No,
Okay,
I'm not.
okay.
No.
Brentford is the next team. They've got Watford at home and Manchester United at home. Now, they're missing a few players, right? Ivan Toney's out. Kanyos has his 5th suspension as well, so he's missing off of this game. So maybe that gives the opportunity for Jensen to come back into the fold, 19% owned. And he's on set pieces, so he might come up with ghosties. And I mean, Watford is supposed to be an easy defense to play against, right? So maybe even Janelt, 31% owned, could get you some points as a midfield option. Though I know like it's affected the way they attack and defend and all that sort of stuff, but Fernandez 11% owned, the goalkeeper. If you're looking for a goalie, not a bad shout. All right, next team.
Next team is Southampton. They're playing Arsenal away.
Oh, what? Crystal Palace, fam.
No, sorry, Crystal Palace. My bad. Next team is Crystal Palace. They're playing Everton at home and Southampton at home. So there are the likes of Edouard and Olise, who are 42 and 30% owned respectively. But like when they have started, they haven't been that great. So if they do get a start, I would just throw that grain of salt, is that they haven't been performing that well when they have gotten the chance to start. So, but they are playing against Everton, who are a much easier team, and Southampton, which would be a much more even-footed team. So,
Yeah, good shouts. Leeds United next. They've got Chelsea away and Manchester City away. So I'm not saying you start this guy, but if you can afford to stash him, Ayling 45% owned now that he's back in the team, I feel like he's got that spot nailed. Also, I'd be really happy as a Dallas owner. I feel like now Dallas has a chance to play in midfield again and continue to be even more of a beast as he usually is.
Yeah.
Okay, next team.
Next team, Southampton, playing Arsenal away and Crystal Palace away. Broha will definitely get a start in one of these games, if not both of them games. He's 23% owned. But then you have players like, El Yunusi and Kyle Walker-Peters, who are kind of starting regularly, but aren't really putting up that great points. But, if you think you want them, like, go for it. But I don't know. They're meh sort of players, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Next team is Watford. They've got Brentford away and Burnley away. So with Sarr out injured, I feel like the likes of like João Pedro will get a chance every now and then. And who knows what's going on with the AFCON thing. But I think Dennis fell out with his manager. So Cucho, 20% owned. I mean, comes off the bench, scores screamers or, 1-2s with the post, whatever you want to label it as. But Mans gets points, when he plays. So I think he's playing easy defenses as well. Likes of Brentford and Burnley. They've been conceding a lot of goals and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it's worth a shout. All right, next team.
Next team, Burnley. They're playing West Ham at home and Watford at home. I think me has like a red flag in Fantrax. So if one of Tarkowski or me are out, then check Collins. He's only 6% owned. Did put up decent numbers in the 2 games ago. Can't remember, against Wolves or something, where they had the 0-0 or whatever. And then last game was like pretty meh. But yeah, check him out. 6% owned.
Yeah. Next team is Newcastle. They've got Leicester away and Liverpool away. These are some tough games, but you know what? The main goalkeeper, Dubravka, is back in at 12% owned. He has seen an increase in points since he's kind of came in the last few game weeks. Maybe he's going to get a bunch of saves, Maybe Eddie Howe might shore things up so they don't concede too many shots on target, but he's like good at saving shots or whatever, right? So if you can risk it and you need a goalkeeper, maybe go that way. But I like a couple of other assets like Willock at 48% owned, Matt Ritchie, even though he was benched the last game, at 40% owned. But I think Lord Voldemort is the real midfielder you want in the lot of them, 22% owned. He just looks a man reborn now that he's been given his chance again to play football. So, I mean, he is, a Liverpool legend, right, Ras? So you never know. He might get something against you guys. All right, and the final team.
Yeah, final team, Norwich, playing United at home and Villa at home. They're tough games for Norwich, so I don't know how much they would kind of see the ball in both those games, but like, players like Billy G might or might not get the opportunity to kind of contribute attacking, but Billy G is 46% owned. And kind of what Sanji said earlier is that like, if he's playing CDM, then avoid. But if he's playing a bit more higher, then maybe go get him. Then you have players like Aarons and Hanley, which is 31% and 13% owned. But like, there's always this when you're in a Norwich team to kind of concede bare goals. So if you can possibly if you think that like they can kind of put up a good fight against any of these teams, these are 3 players that are good shouts.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, that's the waiver picks. We're done. Ross, do you have any final thoughts? Any pieces of advice for the little congested set of fixtures that we have coming up?
Make sure you have fun.
Man, it's so frustrating though with all this rotation. Like, there's a chance that a lot of managers are not gonna feel the full 11, right? At what point do you like take that gamble to, oh my god, do I drop this person? Like, I really want that win or whatever.
Make sure you have fun.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's Christmas. Enjoy Christmas. Like, try not to get too worked up about the fantasy. At the end of the day, we like to remind people it's just a game, right? Sometimes, the luck goes your way. Sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, like Ross says, just have fun, man. And if you're not having fun and you're struggling to make decisions and stuff, like I said, just reach out to us. We're always available, always happy to help.
Hit us up.
On all the socials, the Discords, the Twitters, the Instagrams, maybe the WhatsApps. Depends on how much I like you. But yeah, Ross, on that note, mate, it is like 1:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna try and
you should go sleep, bro.
I'm kind of hungry though, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I'll probably sleep as well. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you maybe not on the next episode, one after that, but I'll see you when I see you.
Maybe the one after that. Yeah.
All right,
peace.